Greetings, friends. As always, it's an extremely high honor to welcome you back to Rick's Garage. I hope you heard that noise when I started up this 2011 Dodge Ram. One of my pulleys on my serpentine belt is making a racket. Now usually it's the alternator, but we're going to check them all out. We've got 6 possibilities here. We've got the alternator, we've got the air conditioning pump, we've got the tensioner pulley, we've got the idler pulley, we've got the water pump, and we have the power steering pump. So we're going to check all these pulleys out, and we're going to find out where that noise is coming from. Friends, I could probably very quickly and easily locate that noisy pulley with my ordinary engine stethoscope, but I'm not going to do that today. I'd much rather demonstrate my Steelman chassis ear. It's quite impressive looking. It has 6 transmitters and it has a receiver with 6 channels. Now it comes with only 4 transmitters. Transmitter 5 and 6 are optional. You have to buy them separately, which I did. But I've never actually had the opportunity to use all 6 transmitters at once. In this instance, I've got 6 components I want to check out, so I thought it would be fun to try to use them all and see what happens. Now, these come with these alligator type microphones that plug into each transmitter. So I'm going to go ahead and hook these all up to the vehicle, and I'll come back when we're ready to test this thing. Okay friends, I apologize for the handheld camera, but I want you to see how I've got these hooked up. I've got number 1, you can see the light is on, it's transmitting, that's hooked up to the housing of the alternator. I've got number 2, you can see the light is on, that's transmitting. I've got it hooked up to the housing of the air conditioning pump. Number 3 and 4, those are on and transmitting. I've got those both hooked up to, number 3 is hooked up to the tensioner pulley, and number 4 is hooked up to the idler pulley. And then number 5 I've got right here, that's hooked up to the water pump housing. And number 6 I've got right here, that's hooked up to the power steering pump. So let's go try this out. I'll write all these down and we'll turn on the receiver and see what we've got. Alright friends, on a pad I've put down where each one of the transmitters is located. And I'm going to go start the truck and we'll see what we get. Okay friends, I just closed the garage door so we won't be hearing a noise from the truck. I'm going to turn this thing on. And I'm on number 1. And that's the alternator, and it sounds pretty normal, so I'm surprised it's not that. Let's go to number 2, the air conditioner pump. That all sounds pretty normal. Let's go to 3, the tensioner pulley. Well, I have a little bit of noise. Let's go to number 4. Oh, that's it. That's it right there. See, number 3 is right next to the tensioner pulley, and I was picking up a little crossover noise, but you can clearly see number 4 is it. Number 4 is the idler pulley, which is surprising. Let's go to number 5. That's very quiet. Number 6. It sounds normal. Number 5 might have lost its connection. I'm going to go double check number 5. So I'm not getting anything from number 5. Well, either it's very, very quiet or number 5 is not working. I'm going to hook one of the others up to the water pump, see if that makes a difference. In the meantime, let's try number 6. 6 is normal. I'm getting nothing out of 5. Now, just to confirm, I just hooked number 1 up to the water pump, and I am getting something. So something's going on here with my number 5 transmitter. It doesn't seem to be working. So I'll investigate that. But anyway, the thing did its job. It did indeed detect that we have a bad idler pulley. And you can see the noise it's making. In the meantime, I'll find out what's going on with transmitter number 5. So what I found out, friends, transmitter number 5 is actually working. What happened, I did not have the microphone plugged all the way in. That's what happened there. Well, friends, it's a little later the same day. Off camera, I went ahead and replaced that pulley. I decided not to film that. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I don't duplicate content that's well covered on YouTube. And when I did a little searching on this subject, there had to be 100 videos or more on how to do this job. So I saw no need to throw my hat into the ring, so to speak. So let's start this thing up and see if that noise is gone. Yes, it's nice and quiet now. I would have thought to all the world that that was the alternator making that noise, but it was just that little idler pulley. Now the difference being the alternator would have cost a couple $100 and the idler pulley was about $25. So that was pretty neat. Now I'm going to get some haters commenting. It would have been a lot quicker and easier just to use my stethoscope. I probably could have found that bad pulley much quicker. But I wanted to demonstrate the Steelman chassis ear, and I also wanted to try using all 6 transmitters at once, even though number 5 didn't work. There was a reason for that. It was a mistake that I made. But it worked pretty well. Now, the Steelman chassis ear is really designed for vehicles that are moving. You can't get out and put a stethoscope on a wheel bearing when you're driving down the road. And that's what I last used it for. I used it to detect the bad wheel bearing. I was in the car and driving, and I couldn't tell where that noise was coming from. And the Steelman very quickly pinpointed the bad wheel. I had another instance where I did the brakes on a vehicle for a gentleman. He brought the car back insisting that the brakes were making noise. And I said, I think the noise is coming from the back. So I hooked up the chassis ear and took him for a ride and proved to him that the noise was coming from the rear of the vehicle, not the front. And another time I was able to pinpoint a noise coming from a faulty transfer case in an all-wheel drive vehicle. It does have its uses. Now, I just want to state that I am not associated with the Steelman company. I received no promotional fee from Steelman. That Steelman chassis ear kit I purchased with my own money, as I do with all my tools. To date, I have not accepted any promotions. So that's all I've got, friends. I want to thank you once again for watching Rick's Garage. Before I go, I will post 2 videos to your left. One will be that video where I used it to detect a bad wheel bearing. And the other will be something else I hope you find of interest. Feel free to click on one or the other. And to your right, as always, will be a picture of my avatar in the form of my very trusty German Shepherd. By all means, feel free to click on that should you wish to subscribe to my channel. So thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you all very, very soon.